Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is struggling for his political survival, as polls show that about 80% of Palestinians surveyed indicate they want him to resign. His popularity did not improve after his recent meeting with Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz, when Israel announced gestures to ease Palestinian living conditions.
There doesn't seem to be any hope that conditions will in any meaningful way change, whether in terms of their relationship with the Israelis, in terms of ending occupation or even easing the occupation, or in terms of reforms within the PA, going to elections, for example, or reconciling the West Bank and Gaza, Fatah and Hamas, or improving economic conditions. Overall, the picture that is in the minds of the Palestinians is that things will get worse rather than get better.
Last year, Palestinians protested what they said was corruption and anti-democratic actions by his administration, including the closure of the parliament, the Palestinian Legislative Council, and the cancellation of every national election during the last 15 years. They blame Mahmoud Abbas.
That his rule over the last decade has become more and more authoritarian, that there is no independence for the judiciary, that there is no free press, that civil society is being constrained, and that for all of this, the reason he's doing all of this is because he wants to stay in power.
Many also condemn what they view as collaboration by Abbas with Israel.
Under President Mahmoud Abbas, the political relationship with the state of Israel and negotiations has totally stopped. And now the PA's role is basically providing security services to the state of Israel. Now, this on the short side might be a good thing for the state of Israel, but in the long run, it discredits the PA and the people's trust in the PA, and therefore it will lessen the ability of the PA to control, security-wise, the people.
For Israel, Abbas has been a stabilizing force in the West Bank, where his security forces have helped to prevent dozens of Palestinian attacks. Israeli security officials say the only alternative to the Abbas government is Hamas, which they consider a terrorist organization.
The Palestinian Authority, and of course, we don't need to agree on everything, and of course there are big differences between Israel or the Israeli policy and the Palestinian policy, but we see during the last 10-15 years the Palestinian Authority is doing lots of effort to fight Hamas. We can cooperate with them, so we need the Palestinian Authority to be stronger.
Observers, in fact, say the Palestinian Authority is in a position of weakness because it is facing an economic crisis. They believe Abbas had no choice but to talk about economic aid after the Israelis refused to negotiate on the peace process. Linda Gradstein for VOA News, Ramallah.